Hey YouTube, welcome back to a little bit of life. Today we have for you this really awesome, tactical, all black G Shock. The reference number is GW5610 1BJF, and at the time of recording in 2021, I believe it's no longer available. This is a variant of the classic DW5600. But this one features multi-band 6 atomic timekeeping, and it's also solar powered, which is really neat in a quartz watch for me. And I can't find it on Amazon, Joma Shop, or even on Casio's website. There's other variations of the 5600 and the 5610 is still out, but not the all black one with the negative display like you see here. So I'm gonna guess it might have been discontinued. And speaking of negative displays, it could prove a little difficult to read in some lighting or angles, but it's never really bugged me that much. It's the only way to get the all stealth look. It does have the backlight, which is pretty good, especially in low light. Doesn't help too much in the day. You could always set it to auto illuminate on tilt, which is pretty nice. I've never had any problems with that draining the battery any quicker. Typically my battery charge indicator is on high, and that's partially thanks to the cool battery saving features that this watch has. It knows when you're not using it for extended periods of time, or when you have it in a dark room or in your drawer, and it'll power down the display while still keeping track of time. And then the next time you pick up the watch, the LCD will illuminate again and the time will be correct. Now as far as the modifications go, I got the bull bars and the NATO strap attachments from a store on Etsy called J's and K's. I think the bull bars are about $9 and the NATO strap attachments were $10. The only downfall with the bull bars is you get a little bit of gunk under there, so you gotta clean it out periodically. Down here we have this Sunto compass. I got that one from Amazon, I think for about $24. I'll post links down below to everything. The compass works really well. I never actually go out with it on, just a few times, and that way is north, so it still works. I hope so. It stays in the drawer most of the time. But it definitely adds that extra survival wilderness look, which is what I wanted, and it looks really cool. The compass does feature lume, so you could use it in low light. This NATO strap is from BluShark straps. It's a 24mm from their original collection. It's like a thick nylon material, really heavy duty, but still comfortable. You can see that it doesn't really fray other than the hole that you use most often. And it's really strong. I'm really twisting it right now. I'm gonna try pulling it apart as hard as I could. There's nothing that I can do to this band. I do need to wash it pretty soon. The compass just snaps on and off, really good retention. And here you'll see how the NATO strap attachments work. The original resin strap that comes on this watch is actually a 14mm where it connects to the lug bar, and then it widens out to 24mm so that it matches the case of the watch. Kind of strange, so that's why you need these NATO strap attachments. It has the 14mm spring bar here holding it, and then the loops to put your NATO strap in. So if you tried just putting the 24mm NATO on this watch normally, you could see how much bigger the strap would be than where the spring bar goes. You would have to put a 14mm NATO on here, and that would look kind of funny on a watch this big. I do remember it being a little bit of a pain to put these small spring bars in. It seems to usually be the case on spring bars under 18mm. It's not too big of a deal because once you have them in, I don't think you'll be going back to the resin strap. In case you've never done this, you take your spring bar tool, and there's the end that looks like a little fork, and you'll wedge it onto the spring bar. It has a neck with grooves so the fork can sit and hold on to the bar, and it'll compress downward with the spring, allowing you to release the original watch band, or to compress the spring bar enough to put in these attachments, and then it'll be held in place. This one was made in Thailand. I think it'd be pretty cool to get a JDM model. They're a little bit more expensive, but it features a stainless steel case underneath the plastic housing. That's my next G Shock that I want, but it does not come in negative display. And here is the OD green strap, also from BluShark NATO. This color really complements the look of the watch. Now all BluShark straps are stitched, not glued, which is something that really draws me to them. You don't have to worry about the keepers breaking loose or the adhesive coming off over time. I haven't had any problems with their straps yet in about 4 years, so hopefully their quality remains the same. Now in case you've never used a NATO strap, I'll show you how to put it on, since I didn't know how just a couple years ago. You put the strap through both of the loops like this, and then through this keeper. And what this does is, in case you do have a spring bar failure, which I've had happen on one of my G Shocks, hopefully the other spring bar is still on. The only way you'll lose the watch is if both spring bars fail at the same time, which is more unlikely. And now you take the rest of the strap and tuck it in here through both keepers. Now I usually tuck it over outward like this. It's just easier for me to do one-handed. And then it starts creasing where you normally wear it, so it becomes a lot easier over time than when they're brand new. But you could also tuck it in this way. You can tell I'm not used to doing it. It usually bunches up on me. So I go outward with it. I like the way it looks. And you'll have this extra little bit on the side. Now besides looking tactical, it does really help with retention of the watch. I believe it was invented for the military so that they wouldn't lose their watch when they experience a spring bar failure. Like I said, I had a G Shock that I wore for almost 10 years, and the resin started wearing out, and I didn't know how to change the strap. And then one day while cliff diving, I experienced the spring bar failure, and I didn't realize it until it was too late. So ever since then, I've been really into the NATOs, especially when you're doing crazy things with your watches on. Now this compass just slips on here sideways, and it does sit nicely. You don't really have to worry about losing it. Here are some wrist shots in all its glory, with compass and everything. I think it suits the watch really well. It doesn't sit too high off the wrist. The bull bars look cool. And this is what it'll look like while you're eating your burrito. If you're pouring out your burrito. Now I'll also show you an alternative method to wearing a NATO. If you don't like the extra bulk underneath and you're more used to the tang sitting at the bottom of your wrist, you just put your hand through this loop and you tighten this keeper onto your wrist while moving the watch down just a little bit. So what this will do is it'll take the bulk away from your wrist bone, and it'll have the tang sitting closer to the middle of your hand, as you'll see here. And once again, you double tuck the excess strap But as you can see now, the excess is on the bottom and you don't see it from the side as much. This could be easier for people who aren't used to NATOs, and you still get the benefits of the double loops going on the spring bars. So once again, you could only lose the watch if you have a simultaneous spring bar failure. And now here it is on my sweaty black NATO strap. That gives you an idea of how quickly you can change straps to color coordinate your outfit for the day or go full stealth so they can't see you. Either way, it makes the watch a lot more versatile. It gives you more options of colors and just customization in general. So I didn't really mention what my G Shock's purpose is for me. I generally wear this one when I'm working out or playing sports or doing more adventurous activities while I'm in town. I hope you found this video helpful, and it'll mean a lot to me if you can subscribe and hit the like button so that I can continue to make content like this that I enjoy talking about. And once again, I will post all the links down below to everything that I use to customize my G Shock, as well as a link to the watch itself if I can find it. On a quick side note, I actually will be taking this watch and the compass to work with me tomorrow because I'm supposed to help map out some tunnels that we're surveying, and it's pretty easy to get lost down there.